The markets have started to buzz yet again with a new narrative, this time Solana ETF. I did create a video just a few days ago talking about the plays from the Solana ecosystem that could benefit if we actually get a staked Solana ETF, and that is exactly what we have got. But is it the entire story? In this video guys, I'm going to discuss every single factor about REXShares staked Solana ETF, and is this actually a very good thing for Solana? Or are we going to see some sort of a sell the news event? Because guys, this Solana ETF is going to be trading live from tomorrow. Also guys, we have a massive news from the Solana ecosystem, which I'm going to cover in this particular video. So again guys, if you enjoy this type of content, then make sure that you drop a like and also smash that subscribe button. And now guys, let's get right into it. So guys, welcome back and thanks for joining me yet again. Right now, for the price of Bitcoin, I did create a video yesterday and I mentioned guys that we are still looking for some sort of a summer chop, and that is exactly what is happening guys. A lot of people were bullish right around here and even right around here when the market was going towards the upside. But if you don't know the structure that the price is currently following according to 𝗕𝗢𝗪𝗕, which I mentioned time and again on this channel. And guys, just in case you have missed out on my video on Bitcoin technical analysis and this move towards the downside, which was basically expected, then guys, make sure that you watch that video because I explained in detail what is going on right now on the price of Bitcoin. And as always guys, I start off my videos with a Bitcoin update because guys, even if you're not interested in the rest of the video, you might be getting some alpha by just knowing on the smaller time frame where the market is headed through this Bitcoin update that I give you every single day. Alright, so again, if you want these updates guys, first off, make sure that you smash that subscribe button. Right here we can see we have a three-wave structure. This is a three-wave W right here. We have another three-wave move up in wave X. Potentially we are forming a wave Y, and inside of wave Y we again have a three-wave structure A, B, and this is your C. Now inside of your wave C, we can be looking for a five-wave structure to end this move towards the downside. Alright, so potentially guys, I'm not going to be going way deep into this price action because I have a lot to cover in this particular video. Now guys, apart from that, we have a massive news, and that is a Solana ETF is finally here. Alright, we have Solana jumping all the way to around 160, and even on some exchanges on Coinbase, I think it went all the way to $164, $163 on the news that REXShares has been approved for the first ever staked Solana ETF, and that will begin trading from Wednesday, that is tomorrow guys. Alright, but then if you see the price of Solana right around here, then let me just quickly go back to the early time frame. We have retraced all of the price action of this move towards the upside. Alright, so is this some sort of a pump and dump? Are we going to see a big sell the news event for Solana? So to basically analyze the price action in this region, it is important that I go even further out on this chart and zoom out a little bit, and then you can see this is your bottom right around here that we formed in April. Alright, and that was around $95. After that, the price actually made a nice move towards the upside. Now guys, in this region, you can very clearly see we might be having some sort of a double 1-2 impulse towards the upside. Alright, we have this 1-2, 1-2, potentially another 1-2. This was your 3, a 4, 5, 4, and a 5. So maybe we have two 1-2s right here, and then a 4 and a 5, 4 and a 5. That would end your impulse. This really looks like an impulsive structure, but the problem is the fact that we don't have any significant volume right around here in the middle of this move. Alright, we do get a little bit of a spike in this region, but if you count it as a potential wave 3, then this becomes your wave 1, this is your 2, this is your 3, this is your 4, this is your 5. Quite possible, alright, because your wave 5 is smaller than wave 3 despite wave 1 being larger than wave 3. Alright, so this is what we are looking at. If I zoom in into this region right around here and try and analyze what is going on for this move towards the downside, then basically guys, you can see this is a 1, 2, then we have a 3, potential 4, and a 5. This is a nice impulsive structure towards the downside on Solana. We don't have any overlap between wave 1 and wave 4, which is not really good for the price action. All right, and that is why it is very important that we analyze the entire structure in this region as well, because after that what actually happened is, you can see that this is, you can count it as a 3-wave structure right here. Then we have another big move towards the downside on increasing volume, which could have been a wave 3, because this could have been very well be a wave 1. This is 2, this is 3. And then again, guys, the problem here is, if we then count this as a wave 4, then first off, the problem is we have a clear overlap between wave 1 and wave 4. Wave 3 is very short, considering this to be a wave 5. Then again, wave 3 becomes your shortest move towards the downside. So it is likely in that scenario, because we have already seen this move towards the upside. And let me just quickly explain why. So basically, it is likely that this structure towards the downside is still corrective. All right, how? Let me just quickly explain. So guys, as I mentioned, this move towards the downside on the highest volume cannot be a wave 3, all right, because of the fact that this is the smallest structure towards the downside compared to this and this one right around here, all right, which would mean that this entire structure is not some sort of an impulse, and we need to be counting it as some sort of a corrective structure. Otherwise, one more thing that people might be interested in this region is going to be a 1, this is your 2, and then this entire move is your wave 3. All right, but again, guys, in this region as well, if you put a Fibonacci from this high to this low, then we have basically touched the 0.618 Fibonacci level for an invalidation of your wave 4. All right, that would mean that we are looking for some sort of a corrective structure here, which could be a zigzag right here in a wave A. This is B, this is C, and this becomes your W. Then this entire structure are running flat in X, and then this is your move towards the downside in your wave Y, ending the correction. This is quite similar to the price action on Bitcoin as well. I'm not going to be going way deeper into this chart. And again, guys, this is not the entire point of this particular analysis. The point is, what are we getting into right now? So the probability is that we could be forming some sort of an impulsive structure towards the upside. Now, if that is the case, guys, then basically we have again seen an overlap between a potential. This could be a wave 1 right here, and then this is your wave 2. This was wave 3, very well timed as well, considering that the ETF news happened during wave 3. But the problem is that your wave 1 high right here and your wave 4 low right now has an overlap, which would mean that this cannot be an impulse either. Now there's going to be just one bullish case scenario, which is going to be a double 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. All right, and then we see a big move towards the upside. Your invalidation is right here at $137. All right, so quite frankly, you cannot really have a very nice setup for Solana at the moment. But if you talk about support and resistance levels, then this zone is going to act as a strong zone of support for the time being. And this is coming between $145 and $148. Now guys, one more thing that I need to mention in this particular analysis itself is the fact that we haven't seen the same price action on Solana as we did see on Ethereum and on Bitcoin, considering that they were going to be getting some sort of an ETF. And when we actually got a news about a potential Solana ETF, is we haven't seen the euphoria, we haven't seen some sort of a buy the rumor event either. So how can we expect some sort of a sell the news event? The price of Solana is already sitting at just $147. So again, guys, this is very, very crucial that you take this into consideration as well, because a lot of people have been saying that because Ethereum actually tanked after the ETF was approved, Solana is also going to do something similar. But guys, things might be a little different. And the thing is, the ETF might just not be the reason why Solana keeps on grinding higher and higher. The reason might be something else, which I'll just show you in a moment. All right. But apart from that, guys, I want to show you my higher time frame analysis on Solana, which you can see right around here. So basically, my bull run price targets for Solana are setting between $326 and $720. It can go higher than that as well, but this is on the basis of several confluences that I've got using Fibonacci tools and Elliott wave analysis. All right. So again, guys, it is quite possible that we could be seeing a nice move up for Solana right now. And we do have a little bit of a breakout on the daily time frame right around here. And that is why, guys, it is, in my opinion, it is quite possible that we might just see some sort of a fake out towards the downside. Maybe if you are going to see a big move towards the downside, a flash crash or something like that, we might see a little bit lower right around here, maybe in the $136 range. That is quite possible. But the problem is, if you actually break this low at $137, then the structure will completely change and will become a bearish case structure. All right, that would be something like this. This is your wave W, this is your wave X, or you can count wave X right around here. And then this could be a big, larger flat in a wave Y, or you could basically have a zigzag in wave Y from this point onwards as well. So that is why the price can actually go much lower for Solana right now. So that is why I would not want to see Solana going below $137, because then the possibilities will be very high, guys. That price could go all the way to $115 to $123 according to one scenario, and from the other case as well, and from the other scenario as well, you can find your price targets between $130 and $123. So basically, if you lose 137, it is highly probable that you're going to be coming back down into this orange box, and this orange box is going to be between $115 and $130. All right, that could be indeed a very good buying opportunity in my opinion. If we actually get into a summer chop, which I mentioned in the last video, then definitely, guys, we could still see Solana coming into this region. Now, why is ETF really not such a big deal? Let me just quickly explain that very quickly. So first off, guys, you can see right here, the ETF came from REXShares. Have you even heard of REXShares before this news actually came out? Most likely not, guys. So I did a little bit of research and I asked ChatGPT how much assets are currently being managed by REXShares. So according to ChatGPT, REXShares are currently managing $5 to $8 billion in total. All right, how big is it actually? Let me just compare it with the other Solana ETFs that are currently pending. All right, so we have 𝗕𝗃 163 billion, Bitwise more than 12 billion, 21 shares over 8 billion, Grayscale 29.3 billion, Fidelity 5.9 trillion, Franklin Templeton 1.58 trillion, Invesco 1.94 trillion, and the Invesco's partner, which is Galaxy Digital, at 4.7 billion. So among the 7 ETF filings that we have, which are due in October of this year and which can actually get approved by late July itself, among the 7, you only have one, which is Bitwise, which could be compared to REXShares because it is also managing 12 billion, but REXShares is still below that, guys. All right, the entire difference is that these ETFs are basically filed for a spot Solana ETF. All right, while the ETF that is going live tomorrow is backed by staked Solana. All right, so you can basically get the yield on top of getting into Solana, which is going to bring a positive drift even if the Solana price is consistent or is trending a little bit towards the downside. So right here you can see this is the competitive pressure on the non-staking spot trust. All right, so right here, what is the yield if there is no staking? 0%, because staking is going to be forbidden. For REXShares, the yield is 4% after tax and fees. And how is that calculated? You can see right around here. So gross Solana staking APY is 7%. Average validator commission is going to be 5%, which would bring 7% down to 6.65%. And then we have LST protocol fees from 𝗕𝗃 or Marinade. 𝗕𝗃 has 4%, Marinade has 6%, and that is going to bring down the yield to around 6.3% right here. Then you have corpo tax, which is 25%, and that is going to bring down the yield from 6.3% to 4.7%. And then the ETF management fees for REXShares is 0.75%, which is higher than the other ones, but they are spot, so you don't get the yield, and the price basically just keeps on going down because of the fact that you have a little bit of ETF fees. All right, so the drift is actually negative, which you can see right around here. All right, so anyway, so the ETF management fees is going to be 0.75%, which would bring down the net yield to 4%. All right, but in the other ETFs like 𝗕𝗃 and Bitwise, we have the ETF fees as 0.20% to 0.35%, which is less. But again, guys, because there is no yield on top of it, the tracking drift or the price, you know, at which it is actually tracked becomes negative. All right, so that is one more thing that you should keep in mind. Now, why am I actually talking about this? If you compare the current ETF, which has been approved, with the ETFs that everybody is still waiting for, then you can see right here, REX is registered as an Investment Company Act of 1940 ETF open-end fund that relies on the generic ETF rule 6C11, while the other ones like 𝗕𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗦 shares are structured as commodity-based trusts that sit outside the 1940 Act. Each needs a bespoke 19B4 rule change so that the exchange can list the trust shares. Alright, this is the key right here. And if you also see the SEC process, then you can see the SEC staff sent a no further comments letter on 28th June, after which the 𝗕𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗦 went effective immediately, so the fund can list without a commission vote, right? And this one is currently still in the formal 240-day clock. Next decision window is going to be 22nd of July, final deadline being 10th of October. All right, then you have the launch date, which you already know. Then the income profile is right here. Price exposure plus staking yield, projected 5 to 7% nominal minus fund expensive. And this one is basically pure SOL price beta, so no native yield, as I already mentioned. Now guys, apart from all of these things, one more thing that I think is quite possible right now is the fact that a lot of these Solana ETF applications are going to do amendments to change them from spot to staked Solana ETFs, which would mean a whole lot of exposure to the Solana ecosystem, rising TVL growth on the Solana ecosystem, especially on 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗦, Marinate Finance, and on Cloud, the Sanctum protocol, which is the smallest right now. All right. And again, guys, if this has to all happen, then this has to happen really quickly. And this is why it is possible, guys, that we might have a bottom on Solana, even though this is not going to be as impactful as what would have been if we would have gotten other bigger names as potential ETF approvals. But still, guys, right now it feels like we have a nice setup brewing on Solana, but it is not going to be governed by ETFs. All right, I will talk about the other factor in just a moment. But if you see the chart for SOL BTC, Solana compared to BTC, we have a lower low, and in RSI we have a higher low. This is much more evident on the weekly time frame right around here. You can see right here we have a bullish divergence, and it is quite possible, guys, that we bounce off from this region. Even if we go a little bit lower, we have a very strong zone of support in this region between around 0.00108 and 0.00118, right now sitting at 0.00139. So another 12 to 20% drop is possible for the Solana versus Bitcoin pair, but eventually I think Solana is going to see a massive rebound, even if you see the worst case scenario playing out in this chart right around here. All right. The other thing that I need to mention is also going to be the Solana ETH chart, which is also currently sitting at a very crucial zone of support right here. It is possible, guys, that we see a move towards the upside right now, potentially getting rejected in this region or from this trend line, but then coming back down, and then that is your region to actually bid. It is possible, guys, because what could happen is that this might fuel the actual euphoria, or this could be the buy the rumor event. It's not a sell the news event, and I'll explain why. Because there is something else even bigger brewing on Solana, and that is this right here. xStocks are going live. This happened yesterday, last night, and now this is available on Kraken, Bybit, and also on Solana. So now if you want to buy a US stock, you can do that on Jupiter, guys. This is insane. This is huge to another level. Let me just quickly show you how you do that. So now, guys, to buy a US stock, self-custody it as well, powered by backed FI and without any kind of KYC. All you need to do is you go to Jupiter Exchange, JUP.AG right here, connect your Phantom wallet, which is again in total control of you yourself. Then you can basically swap USDC or Solana into different stocks. So let's just say you want to buy NVIDIA stock. So you just type NVDA and you will get the X stock. This one is the one that you need to be getting. All right, NVDAX. This is the stock itself. You select it right here, and let's just say you want to buy 100 USDC of it, and then you just click on connect wallet if you have not connected the wallet yet. So this is basically it. You only need to do that. You can even get into SPY. You just type in SPY. This is your S&P 500. All right, and then you select it. You want to put in $100, so you're going to get 0.15. All right, this is insane, guys, and this, in my opinion, is going to be the bigger step for the benefit and the growth of Solana compared to the ETF that we have got just now, because that is just an advertisement, guys. It is not something that is actually going to get you a whole lot of capital. They only manage REXShares, I'm talking about. They only manage $6 billion, all right, in total. $6 to $8 billion, right? So how much is that compared to the price of Solana right now, you know, in the terms of market cap, right? So that is one thing that you need to consider right now. It is still a matter of waiting for a lot of these bigger players to get their respective Solana ETFs approved and enable staking on top of it. If that happens, then your Ethereum ETF also probably gets a staking approval using some sort of an amendment or something like that. And that is when, you know, guys, you are going to see the real altcoin season. This is going to be one of the most important factors for this cycle to actually trigger a real altcoin season. Because guys, if the price of Ethereum goes up, if the price of Solana goes up, that is when you actually see your altcoins paired against ETH and paired against Solana actually explode as well. All right, so this is what you should keep in mind, in my personal opinion. Again, guys, not financial advice, and I've not even mentioned anything to buy. So why not I do it right now? Because there are a few meme coin plays that I'm currently watching. So the first one is going to be right here. This is NVIDIA. This is the first stock backed by diligence. As you can see right here, I got in right around here in this region, around like $650,000 market cap. This is currently sitting at $915,000. Potentially my first price target is 1.85 million. And guys, this is a meme coin, so consider it only as a meme coin and do not consider it to be the real NVIDIA stock. All right, the other one that popped up is going to be meme stock. This is also looking really good, 1.23 million right now, but price is rejecting already from the 0.382. So the trade was right here at around $628,000 from the 0.786, and your take profit was right here at the 0.382 Fibonacci level at 1.69 million. So now it is going to be a little tricky to actually get in on this one if I don't see any confluence of the volume right around here. If I do see a confluence, I will be mentioning this in Kāroshi's private. So if you are interested to join us for these on-chain plays, because I did share this call right here in Kāroshi's private right when I got in. So make sure that you check out Kāroshi's private. The link is given in the description section below. And right now we have some massive discounts as part of our introductory offer. If you go for the yearly plan, you are going to get several different perks that could benefit you quite a lot. All right, now guys, one more play that I want to mention is going to be Robinhood. This is the HOOD token on Solana. This one was actually launched right around here back in January of 2025. All right, and now it has started to pump back up. I'm not in on this one yet, but I'm keeping tabs on this one as well. My zone of interest is sitting at $2.6 million. I have a buy limit order in this region. But guys, usually we have seen multiple times that you see a big move towards the upside, price recovers, and then we see a big move towards the downside, price comes back into this region. So it is also possible, guys. And the fact that we have actually trapped all the liquidity right here one more time tells me that we might be seeing a bigger retrace on HOOD, in my opinion. So maybe guys, wait for the narrative to basically fade out a little bit and then position yourself at the absolute lows, because the ICM meta or the stock meta is here to stay. And maybe you see big moves right now and the meta actually continues for the entire week, or maybe it just fades out. So keep that in your mind. One more play that I've been mentioning for quite some time now on this channel, and I gave a free call of this on my X handle as well. So if you have not followed me, guys, I don't know what you're doing. Let me just quickly show you where I actually talked about Circle on my X. So this was somewhere around here. Let me just quickly show you. This was the call right here. It pays to be inside the circle. This was shared on 23rd of June. All right. This was the chart. And at that time, the market cap was $288,000. I mentioned this yellow box. All right. And right now, if you check out the price, we have done almost a 10.5x from the lows of this box. And even if I change this to the market cap at which I mentioned it on my X handle, then also it has done 6.8x from the lows. And this is also perfectly aligning with the new meta that we have got right now. So the new launches like NVIDIA, like meme stock, guys, these came just today. All right. But Circle came all the way back on 19th of June. So it has already been almost 2 weeks. All right. So this particular coin has been able to front run the entire narrative that we are currently getting into. And if you have been following me on X, or if you have been in 𝗕𝗪𝗔𝗪𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗧𝗦, you would have entered in this region right around here, in the yellow box. And right now it's just time to take profits, right? But if you want to get in on Circle, first off guys, I cannot say that it's just gonna keep going higher and higher, because we have already seen a very big move up. But again guys, the chart has been holding quite well. As you can see, we saw a big move up, then there was a big retrace, another big move up, another retrace, and now we have again started to shoot back towards the upside. So I don't know how high it goes. I have taken out my initials, but the rest I am still holding, and I'm willing to see how high this can actually go. Because guys, if you can get into a play below $300,000-$400,000 market cap, and then it actually explodes, goes to like 40, 50, 60 million dollars, or even $100 million, guys, that is just one single play that can change the entire outlook of your portfolio. I did it with multiple different plays in the past, in November of last year, December of last year, when we had the altcoin season, mini altcoin season that we actually got in the last quarter of 2024. I did it with GOAT. I called it at $2.8 million, guys. And then it went all the way to 900 million, even above $1 billion market cap, I guess. That was more than a 300x for us, right? In my private channel, right? Then I also called a 100x play on Griffin, a 100x play on AI16Z. And now guys, it is time again that if the trenches are coming back, I don't want that you are left behind, because I am going to be doing my research day in, day out. I have shared a complete list of the best plays that I think are going to be doing pretty well in the coming few days and weeks and probably months. So if you want to get that list, if you want to get updates on each and every coin that I share, I'm not that kind of person, guys, who will just share a play with you and I will tell you that I've bought it right here and then you do whatever you want to do. I will keep you posted, guys. In the private channel, you actually get updates on all of the plays that we are currently in, and that is exactly what I have been doing multiple times for Circle as well in 𝗕𝗪𝗔𝗪𝗔𝗠𝗘𝗧𝗧 private. All right, now guys, if you are interested to join 𝗕𝗪𝗔𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧 private, then the link is given in the description section below. So if you're interested, make sure that you check it out. You can go for the monthly plan, try it out. If you wish, you want to continue, you can. If you go for the yearly plan, which is recommended, because you are going to be getting my entire course on Iliad waves, my entire course on trading meme coins, and also a one-on-one session with me for up to an hour where you can discuss your problems, your questions, and devise a plan personalized for you. You get this all if you subscribe to the yearly plan. So make sure that you check the link in the description section below. And basically, guys, that is all from this particular video. If you enjoyed watching it, make sure that you drop a like and also smash that subscribe button so that you can be notified whenever I put up another update. That's all, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, keep hustling.